What if I told you that your success on the real estate exam rests on your ability to grasp just 7 abbreviations? You would call my bluff and ask me to prove it. That is what I plan to do. Today, I will cover the 7 must-know acronyms to help you pass your real estate exam, exploring the critical concepts they represent and arming you with a powerful tip for committing terms to memory. Old car. You could either be a two-door coupe with 117 horsepower and a maximum of 120 miles per hour. I'm talking about a 1965 Ford Mustang, of course, or a new generation minivan. The type of car you are as an agent depends on your ability to uphold your fiduciary duty as a real estate agent. The phrase old car summarizes agency and means O, obedience, L, loyalty, D, disclosure, C, confidentiality, A, accounting, and R, reasonable care. Let's repeat them one more time. O, obedience, L, loyalty, D, disclosure, C, confidentiality, A, accounting, and R, reasonable care. Remember, agency is a binding agreement that an agent has with their client. And it starts once an agreement is in place. Stud or dust? Stud or dust both summarize the 4 elements of value. Use whatever acronym works for you, easier for you to remember. I personally prefer stud. Stud stands for S, scarcity. The lower the inventory, the more valuable the houses will be. Consider a seller's market. In a seller's market, there are more buyers than available houses. This means sellers have greater bargaining power, allowing them to price houses higher. T, transferability. This refers to the seller's ability to transfer a property's title to a buyer. Let's say you have a client who wants to sell a 3-story waterfront mansion on the shores of LA with an infinity pool and an indoor basketball court that costs $5 million to build. The house would be completely valueless, literally, from a sales position if they cannot transfer the title, meaning they cannot sell it. U, utility. Utility represents a house's usability. Can the house be used in different ways? That translates to a better value. D, demand. Are there several buyers interested in a home? That can cause the property's value to skyrocket. What's the mathematics behind it? Increased interest equals increased value. One more time. Scarcity, transferability, utility, and demand. Breaking news. A local couple divorced over a heated debate about whether a built-in bookshelf is a fixture. The once happily married Mark and Emily Johnson found themselves at odds when it came to time to sell their suburban home. The root of their argument is a custom-made bookshelf that spans an entire wall in their living room. Mark, a lover of literature, insisted that the bookshelf was an integral part of the house and therefore a fixture that should remain with the property. Emily, on the other hand, argued that the bookshelf was a personal touch they added during their years of marriage and should move with them to their new home. As the disagreement escalated, the Johnsons found themselves in a bitter divorce, with the fate of the bookshelf at the center of the legal battle. So what do you think? Is the bookshelf a fixture? You can use the Maria test to decide whether the bookshelf is a fixture or not. M, method. What method is used to attach the bookshelf to the house? A, adaptability. Adaptability refers to how personal property has evolved into the house. If personal property has become an integral part of the house, it is a fixture that cannot be removed. Or relationship. What is the relationship between the individuals arguing over the fixture? I, intention. This questions the attacher's intention when attaching personal property to the house. A, agreement. In any dispute, the winning card will always be the seller's agreement with the buyer. If our couple agreed with the buyer to leave the bookshelf, it would be illegal to take it. Now for the 4th acronym, PETE. PETE stands for P, police power, E, eminent domain, T, taxation, E, escheat. These 4 government powers outline the power the government has over real estate. Police power is the government's right to regulate your use of real estate in order to protect the public. Think of building codes. These are established to make sure that citizens are dwelling in safe homes. Eminent domain is the government's power to designate property for public use. Of course, the owner will receive a fair market compensation for the property. Taxation is the power to charge or levy property for government services. Escheat is the government's right to own property if the owner dies without a will or descendants. So, just to repeat, P stands for police power, E, eminent domain, T, taxation, E, escheat. This is PEAT. TTIP or PITT. TTIP or PITT, aka PIT, whichever way it is easier for you to remember, summarizes the 4 factors that must exist before a joint tenancy can be established. T, title. All the property owners must appear on the title. T, time. The owners must all be written into the title simultaneously. I, interest. All the owners must have an equal share in the property. P, possession. All the owners have equal rights to live in or occupy the property. Another thing to remember for the exam is that joint tenancy cannot be willed because the other owners have the right of survivorship. If one of the owners passes, then the remaining owners will receive their portion of the property. UPTEE. UPTEE is a term that is used to remember the bundle of rights an owner has when purchasing a property. Every property owner has the right to use the property however they want within legal parameters, possess the property they have bought, transfer the property to anyone they will, encumber the property or use it as a collateral to secure a loan, exclude anyone, or kick anyone out. So, UPTEE stands for U, use, P, possession, T, transfer, E, encumber, and E, exclusion. CLOC or CLOC. You can use the phrase CLOC to remember the 4 factors for the validity of a contract in a real estate transaction. CLOC stands for C, competent parties, or the individuals involved in the transaction are legally able to establish a contract. L, lawful purpose. Is the contract being established for a legal reason? For instance, you cannot establish a contract for the reason of, you will sell your house in exchange for drugs. Offer and acceptance. Has an offer been made and accepted? C, consideration. Is there something of value offered in the contract? And just like that, you know the 7 key abbreviations that will help you pass the real estate exam. But what's the point of these 7 must-know acronyms if you don't know how to put them to good use? Try out your knowledge on our real estate exam practice. By tackling our free practice questions, you'll be able to fine-tune your study approach with laser-like precision for the exam day. What other key concepts would you like to see us break down? Tell us in the comments. And of course, don't forget to hit like and subscribe. Till the next video.